Alright, yesterday I left off on the Station 3 assembly for the rods and the push-pull thing, and today I'm going to continue with the Station 1, 2, 2.5, 2.25, whatever. Anyway, this linkage here needs to go there, but what I really wanted to show is I talked about how I cut those bushings, so if you're stuck with a table saw only, like I am, and no lathe or any way of cutting it, I basically, on the drill press, drilled a 1/4 inch hole in there. I need to make this 1/4 inch tubing 3/8, and I did this on the other side, but in this case, you can get it in, hammer it in until it's flush. It's obviously tight. You can even true it off by sanding it. And basically run it through the table saw. You know, you want to make sure that it's up tight against the fence, and it should give you a good cut. Looks like my blade was off just a little bit. It's just a bit, 1/1000th over, which I can either sand or readjust this, but I gotta make a couple of them, and that works pretty well. Alright, so those little spacer thingies went inside here. So that's the contraption for the elevator push-pull tube. And this was actually took longer than expected, sourcing all the hardware and putting that together, and then you had to remount the inside to make it fit so the bolts go through. Obviously I haven't tightened anything. Then we use a different bolt on there, and I took that tube out again because now I gotta mate that up with this guy, my nicely polished, clean push-pull tube. I guess that's got to go in there, and then this tube goes inside that. Well, we'll see what that brings. Alright, got my stainless steel rivets in there, and now we actually have to put the end piece on this end, and you have to get this bolt straight with that bolt. So that's a pretty good idea. They tell you to put equal lumber and then put a big bolt through it, but because the bolt head would obviously lift one side up, I don't know, I had these 1/4 inch files. I think they're used for chainsaws that I kind of use in this project. So that's what I'm using. Now I can transfer drill that, and should be pretty straight. Get that all riveted in with my wet rivets, 43s, following the tube up, and that 35-inch tube, which is this guy, is supposed to go in there, except she don't fit, but not even close. So I measured the inside of this. The ID inside diameter of that 1 1/8. This is over 1 1/4. So I'm gonna have to grind this. Fortunately, it's not even anyway. But yeah, I think it doesn't say anything. It basically says in the manual to put the tube in through the back. I think earlier in one of the videos I said through the firewall, but no, it goes in through station 11 and then put this in there. So make sure you test fit that, because otherwise you're going to be in for a surprise. Finally got it to fit. Had to take a good over 1/8 of an inch off. So put the bolts in, all the hardware lines up. I'm going to throw some primer on the piece that I sanded down, and then we're going to call it a night. Stick it in tomorrow. So remember how I said I had trouble getting this thing like more than 6 inches down the tube because of the thick powder coating? So I sanded this section off and I got it to, I don't know, like somewhere around here, maybe like almost 6 inches to the end. But now that I'm looking at this, I have a better idea of how this goes together. It actually got caught up back here too. So I had to sand the back section some more, and now these stop sleeves, they fit anywhere, except the tube was now dull and flat because I was sanding it. So of course you can't have mismatched tubes to the front, so you polish them. Yeah, way too much time on my hands. But now they look good. So I think today we're gonna try and put in the push-pull tube to the back, open the doors, and see if we can get the control sticks finished and move our way forward. All right, that went pretty cool. We now have some action here. I think I saw in somebody's video that even though the parts or figures drawing puts it in this hole, somebody said it needs to go in that hole. Maybe it's like RC, low range, high range. And yeah, this is exciting. I still got to put my little cotter pins in there for safety and tighten that. And I think next I'm going to work on this assembly here, because I never did finish it. I just kind of taped those together so they don't bang around. And that'll be today's project. We'll see how far we get, but maybe I'll end this video here as the push-pull tube installation so they don't become so long.